Welcome and thank you for joining today's State, Local, Tribal, and Private Sector Policy Advisory Committee meeting, also known as the SLTPS-PAC. To receive all pertinent information about upcoming SLTPS-PAC meetings, please subscribe to the Information Security Oversight Office's overview blog at https://isoo-overview.blogs.archives.gov or by going to the Federal Register. All available meeting materials have been emailed to all registrants. While this is primarily an audio conference, you're welcome to join WebEx with a link provided with your registration. If you have connected through WebEx, please ensure you have opened the participant and chat panels by using the associated icons located at the bottom of your screen. If you require technical assistance, please send a chat message to the Inteller Events host. Please note that all audio connections are currently muted with the exception of SLTPS-PAC members, speakers, and ISOO. For our SLTPS-PAC members, please mute all audio connections when you are not speaking. If you are not a member of the SLTPS-PAC and would like to ask a question or make a comment, please hit #2 to raise your hand. If your audio is through WebEx today, you may click the hand icon at the bottom of your screen or send your question to all panelists through chat. Another option is to email your questions and comments to sltps_PAC@nara.gov, and someone will answer your questions there. This is a public meeting. Like previous SLTPS-PAC meetings, this will be recorded. This recording, along with the transcript and minutes, will be available within 90 days at https://www.archives.gov/isoo-groups/oversight-groups/committee.html. Let me now turn things over to Ms. Heather Harris-Pagan, the alternate designated federal officer for the NISPAC, to facilitate the rest of the meeting.
Thank you, Tegan. I will now begin attendance. SLTPS-PAC Chairman Michael Thomas.
Here.
Thank you. SLTPS-PAC Vice Chairman Rich McComb.
I'm here, Heather.
Thank you, sir. DOE member Natasha Sumter. DOE alternate Tracy Kendall.
Good morning, Heather. Natasha was here.
Thank you. DOE's other alternate Jamie Gordon.
Morning.
Good morning. Nuclear Regulatory Commission member Tara Inverso. Department of Transportation member Sidoni Dunham. Department of Defense member Michael Russo. Office of the Director of National Intelligence member Lisa Perez. Central Intelligence Agency member Don.
I'm here.
Thank you. CIA's alternate Abby. FBI member Jacob Zockert. FBI's alternate Scott Gerlach. Department of State member Catherine Connor.
Good morning. I'm here.
Thank you. Department of Justice member Glenn Beasley. Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency member Derek Broussard. DCSA's alternate Paula Rich.
Present.
Thank you. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency member Nitin Natarajan. Vice Chair Cameron Burks.
I'm here, Heather.
Thank you, sir. Private Sector member Jeffrey Imstall. State Mountain Region member Kevin Klein.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. State Mountain Region member, Chris Palmer. We request that everyone identify themselves by name and agency, if applicable, before speaking each time for the record. I am pleased to let everyone know we now have a new director of ISOO, Mr. Michael Thomas. Mr. Thomas brings 15 years of federal government service to the position, most recently serving as the Director for Access Management at the National Security Council. Prior to joining the NSC, Michael served for 12 years at the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, where, during his tenure, he oversaw digital strategy and transparency efforts of the ODNI, coordinating these activities across the wider intelligence community. Mr. Thomas, would you like to say a few words?
Heather, thank you very much, and thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm glad to be here and to be with you for the 27th meeting of the SLTPS-PAC. I'm not as smooth as Tegan at saying that yet, but I'm going to get there. I only have one bit of business other than to say welcome at the outset here, which is to remind you all of your obligation to submit a financial disclosure form. Happy New Year. The form is the OGE Form 450. It'll be routed to the National Archives General Counsel's office, and it's a requirement for all of our government participants. So Heather's going to reach out to everyone, make sure that you either have your initial form for filing or that your annual update is in. And Heather, any other details that we need to share on that front?
No, sir. I will be sending it sometime later this month once our OGC gets with me, letting me know it is time.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I look forward to working with everyone, and I'm certainly glad to have individual conversations with folks as you feel that might be helpful to you. So, Heather, take it away. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, sir. And actually, to go off that, some of you may have received emails from me requesting meet and greets with the director. We are going to start those up at the end of this month in virtually and in person. So if you have not gotten an email from me, stand by, or you can reach out to me directly if you'd like to get on the schedule now. There are a lot of people that want to meet with Michael and Jen. So yeah, just make sure you get on his schedule. Thank you, sir. In addition to Mr. Thomas coming on board, we also have a new associate director replacing Greg Pannoni. Miss Jennifer May leads the NISP, Cyber, Controlled Unclassified Information, and State, Local, Tribal, and Private Sector programs. She most recently served as the Chief of the Security Professional Education Development, also known as SPEED, Certification Program Management Office with the Center for Development of Security Excellence, also known as CDSC, at DCSA. Ms. May, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Heather. As Heather mentioned, I recently joined the team as one of Michael's associate directors. I'm very happy to be here and to be working with the SLTPS community, and that's pretty much it. Thanks, Heather. Back to you.
Thank you. We have had a few changes to the PAC membership since the last meeting. As you know, Mr. Thomas is now on board, replacing Mr. Bill Fisher, who was the acting chairman when Mr. Mark Bradley retired. Ms. May is also now on board, replacing Mr. Greg Pannoni. Mr. Michael Russo with the Department of Defense is expected to turn things over to Mr. Devin Casey. Additionally, Ms. Kamala Rich has replaced Scott Cronin as the alternate member with DCSA. We still have 7 out of 11 slots that are open for membership among the SLTPS entities. If you have any nominations, please bring them to our attention. For those departed members, thank you for your contributions over the years. We look forward to continuing the work you have done with the new representatives. The minutes from the last meeting were finalized and posted to the ISOO website on September 20th, 2024. A recap from the last meeting on July 10th, 2024 is as follows. Department of Homeland Security's Office of Intelligence and Analysis, SLTPS backlog was down to less than 20 cases. There is a pilot program for standardized nomination forms that was expected to launch fall of 2024 with full implementation expected fiscal year 2025. A DHS administrative review identified over 750 personnel that no longer require clearances and was in the process of removing them. The fiscal year 2025's facility secure room inspection schedule was expected to be distributed October 2024. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency briefed the capabilities that they have to offer SLTPS entities. Are there any questions? Tegan, is there anyone in the queue for questions?
I'm not showing anyone in queue at this time.
Thank you. At this time, we'll now hear from the executive agent for the program, the Department of Homeland Security. Mr. McComb?
Thank you, Heather. I just would like to welcome Mr. Thomas and Ms. Well, and certainly look forward to working with both of you as we look to make improvements and add value to this forum, which I think is very important. So look forward to those conversations. Look forward to the meeting. Mr. Thomas, personally, Michael had some in his previous role at the NSC, so look forward to that continued collaboration. Over to Mr. Ricardo Duran, who is our division director who oversees our SLTPS program for an update and to cover some relevant topics. Ricardo, over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, copy that. All right. Thank you, sir, and good morning, everyone. As Mr. McComb said, my name is Ricardo, and I'll be briefing on behalf of DHS. My presentation will cover 4 key points, and at the end, we'll open the floor for any questions you may have. So let's start off with key point number 1, which is our standard SLTPS security management updates for FY25. So DHS is managing approximately 7,700 SLTPS personnel with DHS-sponsored security clearances. Of this population, 90% hold secret clearances, while the remaining 10% have top secret clearances. In our mission support role, DHS, as expressed earlier, is rolling out a new SLTPS preliminary nomination form for clearance eligibility, which will be used by DHS components when submitting SLTPS clearance nominations. Phase 1 is focusing on nominations sponsored by the component of intelligence and analysis. Phase 2 is expanding it to include the other DHS components. And through this phased approach, it's designed to streamline and standardize the clearance process across the department. Second point, interagency efforts and focus. So in FY25, DHS is continuing its efforts to enhance engagement and communication. The Compliance Standards and Training Division within DHS will be launching a comprehensive outreach campaign aimed to strengthen our partnerships across the component, DHS components, the SLTPS community, and other stakeholders. So this campaign will involve personal meetings, workshops, communication products designed to raise awareness of our services, clarify security clearances processes, and encourage continuous feedback for program improvements. So our goal is to foster lasting relationships that enhance collaboration and drive better program outcomes. Third point, life cycle requirements for SLTPS clearances. Building upon the 2023 event to mitigate unauthorized disclosures, for FY25, DHS is continuing its efforts on improving the SLTPS clearance lifecycle process, with particular attention to read-ons and read-outs procedures. So these procedures ensure that the proper briefings and debriefings of personnel that have this access are relinquishing classified information. The key initiatives include, number 1, stronger PERSEC controls, enhancing oversight of personnel handling CNSI, better clearance tracking, improving our systems and monitoring and updating clearance statuses. And then the last one would be CETA awareness campaign. That's the security education training and awareness campaign, going along with educating our stakeholders on clearance requirements and compliance. So these efforts are designed to mitigate risk, bolster security, and improve compliance across DHS operations. And my final point of this briefing on the delegation of authority for clearance sponsorship. So DHS continues to emphasize the importance of clearance sponsorships across the agencies, departments and agencies, right? So under Executive Order 13549, departments and agencies can sponsor and clear individuals for classified information accesses. And also, they also have the authority to clear individuals by DHS, provided that there's a formal agreement, MOA, MOU, AA, those type of agreements have to be in place to ensure security protocols are as follows. So these frameworks enable interagency cooperation and maintaining robust security compliance. Pending any questions, this concludes my presentation.
Any questions from any SLTPS-PAC members? Tegan, how about in the queue?
I'm not showing any questions in the queue at this time.
Thank you. We are now at the point of the meeting where we ask SLTPS-PAC members to present any new business they may have. Anyone? All right. As a reminder, all NISPAC meeting announcements are posted in the Federal Register approximately 30 days before the meeting, along with being posted to the ISU blog. Mr. Chairman, I now turn it over to you to close out the meeting.
Hey, thank you, Heather. And thank you all for attending today. We're going to try to keep this hybrid format going for the meetings going forward. I certainly look for opportunities to get together in person, whether it's group or individually, but from a meeting perspective, I think it makes sense to keep it in this way, but welcome your feedback if you have a strong and different opinion. The recordings for these meetings will be available, as well as the transcript and the minutes, all within 90 days, as you heard at the outset of the meeting. And our next public meeting is tentatively scheduled for July 9th, 2025. With that, unless there's anything further, meeting adjourned.